Twitch, dude, how do we get so many Russians in these duels all of a sudden? Oh my god, I'm gonna struggle with these names, dude. What do we got? We got Bachia, I think it's Bachinsky. We got Bachia. We got Dark Ron God X. Dark Wrong RONGGO God. We'll call him Dark God X. How does that sound? I don't know what the wrong is supposed to be. We got Krager in here. We also got Naumova in here. And we got Yasya. So as close as I can get the names. We also got Team Red with Kenny. Coming back with the good old names I can pronounce. We got ourselves Shooter Master. We got ourselves Randall. I think this man, no, he's not new. He's our game match from last week. We also got Raven in here playing on what looks like maybe Sub, maybe Assassination. And we also got Team Kush in here as well. It looks like it's going to be on Team Blue. And it's going to be Kargar up next. Krager. I almost want to call it Karagar versus Raven, who looks like he's playing that Assassination, trying to go for a little bit of the under a trinket play as an Assassination rogue that's not even on your loot table. But Kragar is going to have to go for a little bit of a crucible to self-heal himself, to maintain himself against this rogue. Looks like he's lagging just a little bit. Raven is just having to watch this warrior kind of slide all over the arena, but this warrior is doing a lot better on health right now. Bladestorming out of that kidney shot right now, even though this man is kind of looking like he's a little bit laggy. Raven is the one going down in hell. That's going to be a blind to reset Karagar. He actually could have trinketed that blind because he was on stun DR from a kidney shot. What was the rogue going to do? Cheap shot to super DR, stun onto Raven. He trinkets out of it, trying to go for an evasion, trying to see if he can survive out of this under a chicken procket. Try to step him to Karagar, and it's going to be a fear out of the warrior. The orc warrior just perusing, walking, watching at the Team Blue. He's like, look at your champion going down in just a few blows. Marfeather coming out for Raven, trying to see if he can get a setup. It's going to be getting shot onto Karagar. He got himself the under a trinket, sustaining himself. Raven, out of defense is complete. They might just have to vanish this. If he escapes out of this without any damage over time, then he might be just fine. But looking like he kind of want to get out of here. I think he tried to go for a bit of a shot him out. Looks like it's not going to let him live there for too long. That heal is actually going to serve him to keep himself pretty healthy. Double under a chicken proc for the both of these two. And Raven is still super behind on health. Still has managed to get a double proc for the underrun. Get a shot on Karagar just to get away from him. Looks like Karagar might actually play him maybe Relentless. Does intercept Raven before he escapes. Has him super low in health. Might have to go for a vanish. Does vanish out of it. The whirlwinds are coming out. Should be able to get him out. Does he have any dots on Raven? He does not. And Raven is going to go for food immediately. Krager is super close to the guy that's going to whirlwind him out. Cheap shot coming out by Raven into a Stormbolt. No trinket available. If Krager has all the damage ready and trying to land himself an execute, that's going to be marked for death ready for Raven. But Krager does take him out. Double grenade coming out for Team Coach as he's going as a human survival hunter, trying to see if he can get the dots, look at the crows pecking out the eyes of Krager. Try to stop his assault right now. The faster he stops, the better it is for him. Getting hit with an intercept, however, on that charge. Stun onto Krager. He is not trinketing anything. He must be playing Relentless. This warrior is Relentless himself. There is going to be a pet for him to hit though. Krager doesn't have to worry about always hitting the hunter. He's trying to see if he can get a trinket out of him. Does force a human racial out of Team Coach. He's going to go for manic bandage to get himself quite a bit of recovery. Kragar does need to be aware of the fact that he can hit the pet for any of the heals he needs. He doesn't always have to be an hunter, getting tricked out by TV Kush. He's just going to punish him with a couple of that range damage. Still not turning around to hit the pet whatsoever. He's so focused on the hunter. Does not get the harpoon properly though. Does get to put both of them under the bridge. And Kragar is going to be kind of lowish on health. He's going to have to use Crucible a bit defensively here. Timmy trying to see if he can min-max the damage. He's going to have to go for acceleration, but his health is still just a little hair behind. Kragar is going to have to go for a turtle shell into manic bandage. Immediately Krager immediately turns around to the pet, is at least hitting the pet. He's getting quite a bit of recovery here. Stormbolt onto Timmy. Timmy is gonna have to wait a little bit longer until the trinket is back up. Hopefully next Stormbolt is gonna be a trinket available. Does actually get away from Krager, but that charge doesn't set him. That's gonna be Crucible to get himself a defensive stun. Does get a trinket out. This man was saving a trinket for the last opportunity. Does end up getting that execute through the net onto Timmy. And down goes Timmy with Randall up next, as an Archimage should be able to kite the living hell out of this warrior, no matter how mobile of a warrior you may be. An Archmage is your biggest stopgap. That is the man that puts the wheelchairs on you. This is the guy that's the biggest speed bump in life. Instant trigger coming out for Randall. And Karagar cannot catch up to the guy. Actually just having to walk away, and Randall is just going to punish him some more by blinking towards him with a shimmer and just continue pounding him with those arcane missiles. Blinking out of that first charge. Karagar does run Stormbolt, so he doesn't have a second charge to fall. He's going to try to Blaze Storm to get himself out of all the slows. Does leap on top of Randall. Randall is going to go for a bit of invis. That's going to give him a bit of a defensive in here. And it looks like he burned double invis. He burned normal invis as well as the other invis. Going to be a bit of reflect from Karagar. Does get a stun onto Randall, who doesn't have a way out of it. Karagar has a limited amount of time left to actually do damage to Randall. Does charge him, and Randall does, I think, blink in the wrong direction here. If Karagar can get close enough, he could get him into a slow. No, but blinks away for Randall for a little bit. Does try to go for the temporal. No dampening quite yet, so Karagar won't really be able to get a lot of good, sustainable damage into Randall that will stick. And Randall just continuing to punish Karagar. Every time he cannot touch him, he's just going to do damage to the guy into a freeze out in the open. Going to get some freebie Arcane Blast. Karagar is going to go for a bit of a reflect right now, which actually does reflect one of the Arcane Blasts back to Randall. Did quite a chunk of damage. Actually did quite a bit. Karagar, though, has 1% dampening. We're rolling in. Needs to figure out how he wants to use all his abilities in order to deal with a mass amount of blinks from the mage. Ice Block coming out, but Randall did not want to get obliterated right now by Karagar. Felt like there was a lot of Fury Warrior damage waiting to happen, and just wants to go back to hiding him. The more he can maintain Karagar at a distance, the better it's going to be a game for him. Also, Karagar won't be able to heal at all, so this is very, very important for him to be able to time this right with his abilities. It's Randall's game to lose in a sense. But Karagar, I mean, he's also just trying not to lose right here. He's going to have to go for a Crucible Self-Heal charge onto Randall. Does get himself a small heal. Randall not blinking away immediately. Waiting to use his abilities for mobility a little bit later. Strongbolt coming out. No Chicken available. No Ice Block either. And Karagar getting quite a significant amount of damage into Randall. Trying to see if he can get a slow. Does slow down the mage for a second. Blinking back away from the warrior. Might have a leap. Might have a charge available super soon. That was one shimmer. And Randall is not going to be able to get him from warrior super easily. Get hit with a slow. Knocking up the warrior. That's going to be the charge. If he doesn't have any way out of this, we get hit with the Nova. His warrior is actually out in the open. Cannot do anything about this. But look at how much health he was able to recover there. The Warlock Hellstones from his team with Nova and Yasha. The two Warlocks on his team, the bottom lock and the very bottom, no Mova right here, and then Yasha. At least that's the best I got for their names. Because they sound like really Russian names, really authentically Russian. But like a Russian nickname type of deal, like an online name. You know what I mean? Not like a with English roots or anything. Randall is going to go for a little bit of food. Stormbolt tricks out of it immediately. 10% dampening rolling in about 7 minutes in, boys, and Karagar is still fighting it out, boys. He's still fighting out for Team Red. Gonna be a shimmer out of Randall, as Karagar should still have some mobility. Nope, he doesn't have any mobility. Charge coming out. Does Randall have a way out of it? He does. Nova and blink away from Karagar immediately. He's gonna send a Crucible in there. Leap and actually interrupted with Arcane, not letting Randall go anywhere. And Karagar is able to get finally a few swings needed. He's gonna get himself a reflect rolling, so Randall is not gonna be able to do anything but knock Karagar up. That cannot be reflected. Imagine if that was. Not sure that was reflectable. And Randall made so much distance between him and the warrior. But the line of sight of the bridge is going to allow Karagar to mount up and close the gap a little bit without having to use his mobility. Randall trying to cast as many instant casts as he can in order to gain health. If instant cast he does get to cast is going to be good. Stormbolt at a distance. Karagar is not able to get that many maximum damage out there. Randall's not blinking away. He's actually taking all the damage to the face. Second charge, but with a reflected. Oh my god, the dream of Karagar. Randall the dreamer just taken down by Karagar. Oh my goodness, Karagar, my man, getting to open onto Canny into a Blaze Storm to fall. This is a Fire Mage, so this should be a little bit harder for him to deal with a Breath Polymorph. He does have a trinket if things really ever go bad. It's going to be Greater Pyro into Ring of Frost. Karagar just going to take it. Leaping over that Ring of Frost, almost interrupted. Canny is going to go for Reflect at the end, but Canny does cancel the cast in between of that. Canny is going to take quite a lot of damage from this warrior. Those Stormbolts to follow does have Temporal, so it's going to be a bit of recovery. But it's still going to be a Breath Break super early, and Karagar is able to really punish the mage, interrupting the Polymorph immediately into a Nova to keep him separated into a Crucible right after. Karagar actually still has a trinket, so he's still fine. He's still a big defensive too. He's gonna be tricking out of it. Into Reflect. Does he get reflected? He does not. It actually still is the Greater Pyro. Not able to get rid of it. Oh, it actually interrupted the Polymorph into another Breath. Canny is actually completely out of options right now. Might have to go for a bit of an Ice Bucket a little bit early. Polymorph does still land on Karagar, but it's super DR'd. Canny is super low in health. Does he have any dots on him? Looks like he's able to catch himself in Invis for a second, but there's a dot that gets him out. 23% dampening, boys. 8 minutes in. Krager has not been defeated yet. So far, he doesn't have a trinket. He has Reflect every time Kenny has any big cast available. He's still holding on to his major defensives. Hasn't had a need for them at all. Breath into Krager's face as Kenny, I think, gets out of a human racial out of that Stormbolt. Integrated Power Blast. Krager has no way to answer for this one. He's actually not gonna... Well, is he trying to leap out of it? He does leap out of it. He's trying to interrupt onto the fire damage. Charging with a Blaze Storm to get himself immune out of that freeze. Kenny going for a bit of a temporal. Krager really wished he had the Blaze Storm right now. Kenny's gonna get a Fireball, and it's gonna be getting reflected back at Kenny. That's gonna be crucible to follow. Kenny recovered quite a bit of health out of that though, and it's gonna be able to stay alive for just a little bit longer. I'm actually surprised. How do you recover in health? Did he eat at one point? I guess he might have recovered with crucibles, just casting that into himself. I must have been. Krager though, try to see if he can intercept Kenny. Is he gonna be able to though? Stormbolt onto Kenny. That's going to be a breath to follow right after. Polymer fight after. Krager does not have himself any kind of way to get out of this for a moment. Kenny is actually going to not even going to go for Greater Power Blast, just to re-polymorph and get some food. He might be able to get 1 tick of food, maybe 2. Not able to get any ticks of food, but he's going to get a Fireball at Krager at the very end. So Kenny is recovering quite a bit of health before the dampening real rolls in, boys, and we're at the 10-minute mark. This is where the dampening is really going to start hurt. Any self-healing you have, it is going to be worse and worse with every minute that passes. 10-minute mark is when it really gets serious. Krager, though, still holding on to his massive defenses for now. Trying to see if he can Blaze Storm. Does get to dodge the breath with Blaze Storm. What a good play. Tried to wait out a little bit on the tempo before it gets some damage. Does miss his interrupt on the Polymorph. Getting a Poly onto Kenny instead. And Kenny is still going to be able to secure that Polymorph either way. Trick it available for Krager if he ever needs to. Your Power Blast is going to come out with a Meteor and everything. Krager might just go for an instant Reflect. Not a combustion out of Kenny. Was able to burn quite a bit of damage into Krager. That's just Power Blast and everything. So Kenny's still holding on to combustion until a right opportunity. Probably waiting to see if Krager might use his Reflect at a wrong time. Very Power Blast, but is it gonna be? No, it's not gonna be reflected. It's actually gonna be Stormbolted. I think Krager just trying to wait out for that Reflect at a perfect opportunity. Right now, he has advantage as long as he doesn't use it. Greater Power Blast is gonna hit him. No, Kenny actually stops it, expecting the trinket into a Reflect out of Krager. Krager called a bluff. The mind games on this man. He also could have been like, I'm just gonna take a bite of my sandwich instead of trinketing. He's just gonna hit me, but whatever. I have enough health. So maybe it was just him just like, yeah, I'm okay. Kenny though, surviving. Look at the health, how much health he was able to recover at 39% dampening. Stormbolt onto Kenny. Krager might be able to finally unleash some damage here. Blaze Storm is available. Probably should min-max the Blaze Storm for as long as he could. Temporal out of Kenny. Does get a breath onto Krager with a Polymer to follow. Again, Kenny's trying to see if he can bait out the Trinket Reflect out of Krager any moment. He's actually going to get it. That's going to be Greater Pyro reflected. Doesn't trip him on the Polymer. Kenny takes quite a bit of damage from that Greater Pyro. That's going to be an Ice Bucket a little bit early. Krager no longer with the Trinket. And that's up now Kenny right now to win. He could actually get an all-in-one onto Krager right now if he wanted to. Krager, what abilities do you have to work with? Stormbolt onto Kenny. He gets out with the breath to follow up with a Polymer right after Krager is gonna eat some of those Greater Pyro Blast, and there's nothing you can do about it. Ring of Frost doesn't connect. It actually, I think Kenny so far has not landed a single one of those Greater Pyro Blasts or Greater Rings. What is going on? His rings are just not really working all that well. So far, he hasn't landed a single one of them. Greater Power Blast coming out. Krager is going to get himself a self-heal. Meteor coming on to Kenny. He leaps over that Meteor. Maybe a charge to follow. Kenny's actually getting something big combustion damage. Krager not looking all that good right now. He's going to get himself another self-heal. Might have to go for his own big defensive here. He's burning for quite a bit of health. Command Shout coming out just to give him a little bit extra leeway with all that health. Stormbolt onto Kenny. Popping in Rage Regen. Kenny cannot ice block it at all. Does Blaze Storm the breath though. Temporal coming out for Kenny. Krager needs to get himself just a little bit extra health in order to be fine. He's going to get a Fear onto Kenny. His own Frozen Over does actually break. It's going to pop some cooldowns into Kenny, who has no defenses available. He needs to get himself a breath right now. Does Krager have any way to catch up? He doesn't have any mobility for a bit. He reflected that Fireball in a moment. Let's try to get an interrupt onto the Polymer. Ring of Frost trying to come out. Does he land it? He does land it. And Krager actually does not freeze himself yet. Stormbolt onto Kenny. And it's going to leap over that ring. And that's actually might be executed onto Kenny right now. Trying to see if he can survive with those crucibles. Get himself a shield. Intercepted with a charge. Safety Chicken procking out right now. How did Safety Chicken proc out now though? Oh my god. And Kenny goes down with a massive execute. Krager taking out 4 people in a row. And Judo Masters, the only man standing on Team Red. Krager with all the offensives out, get ahead with the disarm, unable to even get himself even a little bit of a heal, and down he goes. Next up is going to be Dark Ron God. I think Dark, I see the word dark, D-A-R-K, and then God X at the end. G-O, it's like the, it looks like a weird R and a weird house. Dark, what is it? Dark, wrong. It's like dark wrong. I don't know what R-O-N-G is supposed to be in Russian. I don't like as a name. Big touch of death onto Dark though. Holy crap! That's so much damage. I actually thought that we were kind of just tussling and muscling one another. I didn't think that we were going for real business, but it looks like it's going to be Karma or Dark right now. And Judah's bailing out of there. Actually, Judah's out of defenses all the way completely. 56% dampening. Almost 50 minutes in. Can those boys live for a whole nother minute? And to a bit of a disarm onto Dark. It looks like he might be going down right here. Does get himself a wall up and running, but Judah does end up taking him out. You don't mess with the Judah. Bachi, yeah. Bachi? I'm gonna call you Bachi. You guys, look at the little crab he's got going on. He's got a crab and a little like undead hosen on it. What the hell? He's gonna get a kidney shot open on to Dark Master, Judo Master with a little bit of a Garou. Judo is popping his trinket for versatility. She can do a little bit extra damage to Bachi. Looks like he's gonna bail out of there for a second. Vivify spam coming out, but the 60% dampening in. Vivify nothing. In cap onto Bachi just to hold him in place for a second, but it looks like Judo just a little bit desperate here with dealing with this rogue. Next getting shot is gonna be the end. Try to see if you can use Ring of Peace to boopity bob Bachi out of there. Is he gonna be able to hold him off for long? Vivify spams are coming out as much as he can, trying to do what he possibly could with his damage output. He's trying to see if he can get himself any kind of survivability and son onto from the rogue, and that's gonna be end to Judo. Down goes the boy. Yo, Kragar, dude, oh my god, he did so much damage throughout this duel. Dude, he played super well. Who is this man? Yo, whoever got him in here, dude. Let's go, boys. Let's go. Let me get the mix back up and right. I don't know what happened to my mix.